What's good, Ravens flock? Welcome in to the Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest Baltimore Ravens news and rumors, those around Lamar Jackson's contract situation. Also have an update on Bobby Wagner. Could he be potentially joining the Baltimore Ravens? We'll dive into all of that and more coming up in just a few moments from right now. Before we do, folks, we are oh so close to 9,000 subscribers here on the channel. We are less than 150 away. I believe that we can get there by the end of the week, but we're going to need your help to accomplish that. And to give you a little more incentive, when we get to 9,000 subscribers, I'm going to take down 9 shots of alcohol on this show. So if you want to see something crazy, here's your chance. Subscribe now for free. Doesn't cost you a thing for the latest happenings in your favorite team. We know how to have a good time here. We do live shows from time to time. We do these news and rumors segments during the week as well. This is the place to be for the flock. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Where we'll start today is a segment that I did earlier today here on NFL Daily with the latest on Lamar Jackson's contract situation. Let's take a look. Let's discuss Lamar Jackson's contract situation. There's a new report out that Lamar's camp never asked for a fully guaranteed deal. Now, remember, this runs contrary to what we had been told for months, that the Lamar camp wanted the same contract that Deshaun Watson got of all that guaranteed money, fully guaranteed. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith, and granted, you got to be questionable on who the source is, but nonetheless, this is what Stephen A. put out. I was connected to Lamar Jackson's camp yesterday, and I was absolutely, emphatically ensured that Lamar Jackson has never asked for a fully guaranteed deal. I don't want to sit up here and dispute or refute what other NFL insiders for this network and beyond are saying. I don't cover the NFL like that, like they do. I just want to make sure that I'm clear. I'm echoing what Lamar Jackson's camp said because they reached out to me personally yesterday. So, here's something interesting. With all this going down, with the noise that's out there, keep in mind, the tag deadline is quickly approaching. We're what, like 2 weeks away from this now? March 7th. And with everything that we've heard, okay, granted we're on the outside, but just what we've heard, there's no signs of progress right now that a long-term deal is going to get done. You see these leaks coming out, right? And these things that have been said from Lamar's camp. Remember, the leaks are from Lamar's camp. They're not coming from the Ravens here. I think that's a very important detail. And just nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Not even since August has anything changed at this point. Now, with that said, my educated guess would be the exclusive franchise tag is going to get placed on Lamar Jackson. Again, we are still waiting, and nobody knows for sure, but the educated guess, and it's a guess at that, says the exclusive franchise tag will get placed. It makes the most sense, right? You get control, okay? You buy yourself time to get a new deal done, and then if not, then you get to decide where he goes and try to maximize on what you could get for him, as opposed to what the non-exclusive does of limits exactly what you could get in return. To me, this is what makes the most sense. We'll see. Which franchise tag will Lamar Jackson receive? I think we've crossed the point where it's not a matter of if he'll get a franchise tag, but what franchise tag he'll get, whether it's exclusive or non-exclusive. If you think it's the exclusive tag, type E for exclusive. If you think it's the non-exclusive tag, type N for non-exclusive. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, this situation, like I said earlier, with the educated guess, there's still a lot we don't know at this point. That we're in a situation where we're all trying to figure it out, right? And what we've been led to believe is that all of this is about the guaranteed money. And when you look at that guaranteed money, in case you needed a reminder of sorts, there is a significant drop-off. Once you go from Deshaun Watson of $233 million in guaranteed money, then you go all the way down to Russ at $165. And so I'll be intrigued. Remember, it's not just Lamar here when it comes to this guaranteed money, but what about Jalen Hurts? What about Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert? Are these guys all of a sudden not going to get the guaranteed money either? If those guys don't get it, then the Deshaun Watson deal could be an anomaly here. We'll wait and see. A long ways to go in this process, but from what we've heard from Stephen A., he says it's not about getting the Deshaun Watson guaranteed money. And remember, too, what's the injury guarantee stuff look like? I still have a lot of questions and not a lot of answers at this point. With that said, where will Lamar Jackson play next season? I still lean towards Baltimore, quite frankly, myself. What say you, though? Let us know in the comments section where you think Lamar Jackson's going to end up in 2023, where he'll play. Tell us in the comment section below. Next up here on Ravens Rundown, let's discuss Bobby Wagner. Wagner is going to be a free agent after the news came out towards the end of last week that the Rams and the parties that be with the Bobby Wagner camp are going to go separate ways, as Bobby Wagner wasn't pleased with joining the Rams in a situation that he thought, hey, they're coming off a Super Bowl win, that they would be building towards that. Instead, last year was such a down year, Rams kind of in a rebuilding mode of some sorts, that Bobby Wagner wants to be a part of a contending team. And so with that, he's going to be a free agent. They'll go their separate ways. And what's interesting about this, before I get to a quote that I want to read you here, not only does the possibility of Bobby Wagner and the Ravens sound intriguing, because you're talking about a guy that feels like a Baltimore Raven, right? Not only just that, but if you go back in time, if we were to step back in the hot tub time machine to last offseason, there was some interest between these two parties. Listen to this from Tim Ham of Ravens Country. Wagner paid a visit to the Ravens and met with general manager Eric DeCosta in March of last year, but left Baltimore without reaching a deal. Last month, the Ravens signed linebacker Roquan Smith to a 5-year, $100 million contract after acquiring him via trade from the Chicago Bears. But there's certainly more room for another star at the position. Okay, so they potentially could find some money. Remember, you still have to pay Lamar as well, obviously. The resume on Bobby Wagner: joined the Rams in 2022, his one season with the franchise after 10 in Seattle, which included a Super Bowl run. You're talking about a guy in Bobby Wagner who is on track to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer with his accolades. I mean, just tremendous what he's been able to do in his career. 6-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro. That's 9 years at a first or second team All-Pro level. 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL tackles leader, pretty good if you ask me, and also was a member of the 2010s All-Decade team in the National Football League. His last 4 seasons, this past year with the Rams, despite a new scheme, new system, another year older and everything, he didn't fall off at all in Los Angeles this year with 140 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, which was higher than any of the previous 3 seasons that he had there, with 5 pass breakups and 2 interceptions. And you can see that he has been a tackling machine his entire career, 170 in 2021. And you're looking at a guy that in coverage isn't bad either at the linebacker position, all things considered. Coverage-wise, gave up about 359 yards and allowed 2 touchdowns this past year. Had 2 interceptions and 5 pass breakups and a completion percentage near 69% against Wagner there. So before we go today, I want to ask you guys, should the Ravens sign Bobby Wagner? We know he's a talented football player. We know he's a little bit older. He still has something left in the tank. All those things are very much true. But do the Ravens have the money to pull this off? Does it make sense for the Ravens to go this route to bring in a guy like Bobby Wagner? What say you? Let me know in the comment section. Type S for sign or P for pass. Which way you're feeling, one way or the other. S for sign, P for pass. You can follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram, at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Baltimore Ravens. I'll see you next time right here on the Ravens Rundown.